Protecting vulnerable communities is at the forefront of the government's agenda. The Social and Family Development Ministry is working on new laws aimed at better protecting survivors of domestic violence and adults who lack mental capacity. It's part of efforts by the ministry to support Singaporeans at every life stage. Chloe Teo reports.
What happens behind closed doors is not always a private matter. It's an issue all too familiar with social service agencies like Fei Yue, who have been waging a tireless war against domestic violence. Their hope? More measures to protect victims and caseworkers. One suggestion: laws to rehome the perpetrator rather than the victim.
Generally, the survivors of the violence, actually, right now they're carrying the burden of having to go to shelters and getting used to a very new environment. Sometimes they're not used to it, and because of that, they actually end up returning home back to the same situation of violence after a while. Especially when children are involved, they have to, pack their bags, go to the new place, and find a different way route to go to the school, and they feel unsafe. Yeah, so if allowing the children to stay in the familiar environment will actually help to reduce the impact of trauma.
The centre hopes that the new Domestic Violence Act that the government is working on can take into account such experiences. Another law that will be reviewed is the Mental Capacity Act. It aims to support families of vulnerable adults who lack mental capacity and provide stronger safeguards against the misuse of lasting powers of attorney. One legal expert welcomes the review, but says revisions must be considered against the wider landscape.
Separately, there are also other acts that are overseen by the MSF. One example is the Vulnerable Adults Act. And perhaps it would be good and timely for some consolidation to see how the different acts can interface with each other.
The government pledged that families will continue to be supported at every stage. Both ends of the early childhood sector will be developed to grow a range of care options while also investing in the workforce. People with disabilities can tap an enhanced spectrum of help, from accommodation to employment. Safety nets such as ComCare are in place and will be regularly reviewed and updated. Behind it all are the social service professionals that MSF assures will continue to be supported as it drives its vision of a strong and future-ready sector.